Never seen this before. I don't know why that's in red though. That'd be weird. Okay, how about now? Do you guys hear me now? 만약에, let us know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, great. Ogure-님 says they can hear me now. Great. Thank you for letting me know, because that would have been bad if I had gone throughout, the entire video and found out that
There's no audio.
Didn't have audio. Kind of makes sense. If you see, you came in and then like 7 people came in after you sat down.
Me?
Yeah, we have 9 people joining us. Great. Thank you for joining us. I am going to have this up. English only, please practice as much as you can using the chat box. I'm gonna maybe actually just make it a little smaller so it doesn't. No, you can stay where you are. I'm not using a professional microphone here, guys, so just bear with me. It's not going to be as professional as you guys are used to. Nowadays everybody's
all the equipment.
Yep, everybody's fighting for that gear. Great. So we have Totori and we have Ogure-님 joining us. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? How was your day? Today was a national holiday in Korea. And then we'll have a little bit of time to just kind of sit back and chat. And then I'll ask you guys some questions when people actually do come in for a little bit. I've watched your video only shorts, so you've watched my shorts. I'm glad I get to watch live stream. I am very happy that you are joining us today. I don't think I've ever seen you here. Thank you for watching them. I'm very happy that you're here. Thank you. So, how was your day? Let me just also write on this as well. What's your day, guys? I want to try and make sure it doesn't block or get blocked by your face or my face. How was your day?
Yes.
How was your day, guys? We have a few people joining in. Yeah, that's good. So how's your day going?
Pretty good. It's going pretty well, actually.
That would be the
grammatically correct way to speak. I'm a little zoned out because I've been staring at the computer.
Zoned out. I'm a little zoned out. I'm a little zoned out because I've been staring at the computer. Is that what you said? I'm a little zoned out. I'm a little zoned out because I've been staring at the computer. Good.
I'm going well. You're doing well.
Doing well? Good. So it's not quite that late. I know it's 8 o'clock in Korea. I don't know if all of you guys are watching from Korea, but it's only, 1 o'clock here? So we're still kind of going through our day.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful day outside, and I'd love to go out and get some air later. I'm working on a new video for you guys. I think the I is lowercase, so we'll fix that. It's been a while since I've done my live videos, and I realized that I'm a very much of a person who likes to stay consistent, and I realized that when I look at my older videos, I was very consistent, and I think I had uploaded live videos every week. and then I think summer started, and we went on a little vacation here and there, and I had to stop. So I will get back to doing these so that even if it's just a couple of people that watch and find it helpful, I think I want to still help them out, and these videos will stay up on my channel so people can actually come and find it later on. I think that's what I realized that I need to get back to doing is making these consistent videos so that people actually can watch them. And I also realized that I'm getting a lot more new. I haven't seen any of these guys before. Um, and if I'm not consistent, I feel a little hypocritical because my channel and my kind of um, philosophy behind language learning is all about consistency, you know. So when I'm not consistent, I feel a little hypocritical, you know. So, hi, activities. Hi, 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 hi. How are you doing today? Let's see. So I'm gonna say I feel a little hypocritical because I haven't been consistent. And I realized all the viewers or all my audience that used to come up and join me in my live videos are actually now gone, and I think part of it is because I haven't been consistent. And these guys really liked these videos because they always came in and they said hi. I don't know if they will come in later, and I'd be really happy to see them. But it's all about me staying consistent because now they've lost it. Now they've lost their streaks.
Right.
You know.
They've stopped following consistently. I spent all my morning hanging out with my kids and wife in the valley.
Nice.
The valley meaning you're in California?
Are you in California?
Are you in California?
So I don't know if the valley is. I think that's
a place.
Well, valley doesn't. If it's the valley in California, it would be a capital V.
That's true.
So we'll see. Are you in California? But I want to do live videos. I want to get back. I want to get back to doing more live videos. Okay, so in Korea, valley means 계곡. 계곡 is like a little creek / pond / little river. It could be anywhere from 계곡 can be anywhere from a small river to a pond to a small lake, and we call that valley because and I think the dictionary definition might translate to that because it's in the middle of the woods, basically.
Makes sense. That sounds fun. Sounds like what I used to do when I was little.
Yeah, so I would say in a valley, but that was good. That was good. In a valley. In a valley.
I'm on duty night shifts.
In a valley. Okay, I'm on duty night shift. I'm on night shift duty, actually. Oh, okay, Totori is on duty. Are you in the military or are you in... Because it's 8 o'clock. So that means all the government, unless you're in the military or unless you're a police officer, there's certain government agencies.
Or like security.
I have a feeling he's military.
Nice to meet you as well.
So a valley, technically, to answer your question, Tomo, technically a creek would be the better description if you want to say 계곡. 계곡 can be anywhere. It can be anywhere from a small lake to a creek to a pond. So I would say either a creek, like you said, or a pond. But if you went on a little trip to like a mountain and then you went camping in the mountains and then you jumped into the creek and spent some time in the creek or in the water, I would say I went camping in a valley.
Mhm.
Or go
I was
ahead.
saying, valley relates to, like, if you have two mountains, the valley is down here, but it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with water.
Mhm.
So you can be in a valley and it doesn't have water. If you're talking about a river or a creek or a lake, we would usually say one of those specific bodies of water. We wouldn't say a valley
Mhm.
necessarily. Yeah. Subway system. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Works for the subway system.
So if you write as much as you can, and write as much as you can, and practice. Practice. Okay. I'm here to help you guys out, and this is kind of a real life. Think of it as a real life situation where you're talking with somebody, either on the phone or either through text messaging, and you have to say to the other person everything in English, and consider this as a real life situation where you are, kind of testing your own skills, right? If you've practiced English for the whole entire week, this is your time to shine. This is your time to shine. This is your time to shine, guys. This is your time to shine. Use what you learned. Okay? Use what you learn. I'm here to help you guys out. Let me make that a little smaller. I hope that's visible.
That looks visible.
I don't want the fonts to get out of the box. Great. So how is your shift going, Totori 님? How's your shift going? Ah, such a good movie. That could be a whole live stream right there. Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Did anybody else watch Oppenheimer? Did anybody else watch Oppenheimer? I'm gonna say, did anybody else watch Oppenheimer? So, maybe not. I just want to be able to. Did anybody else watch Oppenheimer? Did anybody else watch Oppenheimer? I wish I could. Mm-hmm. Dongwook seems like he's a very busy father and husband, because it sounds like you have your busy days, and then today you were able to chill because today was a holiday. Maybe you can watch it when it comes out on Netflix. Maybe you can watch it when it comes out on Netflix. Who else watched Oppenheimer? So Totori, why do you think it was a good movie? Why do you think it was a good movie? I think it's a little slow.
It is. I was just looking at that.
It's kind of choppy.
Kind of choppy, but also just like very behind.
Yeah. Oh, behind is fine. It's actually, if I make it really up to date and super on time, it'll actually slow down the speed a lot more, and the quality goes down. So it's a little tricky when it comes to. It's a little tricky when it comes to doing the live and making it smooth.
Raising a kid is not that easy.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So, Dongwook is, you are too busy. I am too busy to go to the theater. Raising a kid is not that easy. I almost feel for you. Almost. Because I think I kind of imagine what it feels like to raise a kid because I have friends who have kids, and I just cannot imagine how busy you would have to be, how busy you will be.
Yeah.
I think I've seen Chocopo before.
Hmm.
We are in
We
France.
are in
Us too.
France.
We are in France. We are in kind of in Paris.
We're in
Paris.
Paris.
We're in Paris.
We
Do you have a baby?
do not have a baby.
You have a baby.
No. We have plants.
We have a baby. Yes, we have a baby. This is our baby.
baby.
Here. This is Yeah. Well, this is actually ours. The other one's not ours.
Yeah.
That's our baby.
We're also babysitting a plant for a friend. Uh-huh.
The sound in the movie was incredible, and the characters were impressive. But the movie is too long. Yeah, fan of Christopher Nolan. Chris Nolan is a genius, I think, when it comes to filmmaking. Um, sound was incredible, yes, and the characters are impressive. Um, I do agree the movie was a bit too long. I agree, but nowadays, I think the longer the movie, the better it's rated.
Hmm.
I think.
I mean, sometimes I think also it has to do with the story. Like, the longer the movie is, the more details they can add to the story and things like that.
Mm-hmm. The
What
the
a cute
higher
baby. Thank you.
the
It is a cute
rating
baby.
is. That's my opinion because if you think about it, think about all the really long movies you've watched, like King Kong. King Kong is more than 3 hours, 3.5 hours long. Think about Avengers,
The old
the Endgame. Think about Oppenheimer. Think about Batman. Batman
director's
Dark.
cut.
No, The Dark Knight,
Oh.
which did phenomenal. It was a phenomenal movie. And I think the longer the movie, the higher the rating is.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying all long movies are good. I'm saying objectively, who are critics who have rated these movies, they rate it higher. But like you said, we can connect with the characters more because there's more information given.
Right. Like, books that are adapted into movies.
Dark Knight is a classic. It is a classic. Have you watched Dark Knight?
Yeah, watched.
Even the Joker. I think the Joker is about 3 hours long, right?
Oh, it was released today in Korea. Oh.
Oh, was it? That's why.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh.
Mary, oh, nice. Congratulations. Okay, so Chocopo says, I have a question about marriage visa. Um, about the US visa, I will marry an American girlfriend in December in the US, and then I need to wait to get married visa from the US. So I want to ask you to how long did the visa take to come? Okay, so first of all, Chocopo-nim, is your girlfriend in Korea now? Is your girlfriend in Korea now, and do you live in Korea? And are you Korean?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Korean and I'm in Korea. Okay,
And your girlfriend is in the US.
but she is in the US now. Okay,
So he's gonna go to Korea.
no, he's
I
going
mean,
to
he's
go
gonna go to the US and then get married.
Good. Well, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah.
Um,
Congratulations.
so much. I'm very happy to see fellows like me. Like I love people who are diverse. I think that's where it's supposed to be at. And international couples are the way to go nowadays. You really need to kind of see the bigger picture in this world. We Koreans, not that, I mean, I'm a I'm very down to earth Korean. I mean, you know me, and I went to the Marines in Korea, but I think Koreans need to see the bigger picture here, and I think it's always good to see, like, to go to other places and to see what it's like to be outside of Korea. But anyway, I'm very happy for you, Chokopo. First of all, I think you're talking about a green card. Are you talking about a green card? Green card is different from a visa. Okay, so you can get married in the US. You can get married in the US with an ESTA visa. An ESTA visa. You can get married in the US with an ESTA visa. Okay. Gung Gang. My name is Gung. Kim Gung. That's my name. Kim Gung. Or you can call me James. Whatever's more comfortable for you. So I hope that answers your question, Chocobo. You can get married in the US with an ESTA visa. You don't need to have a different visa to get married in the US.
But if I think you were asking about how long the green card takes after you get married and apply for it, technically, he doesn't have a green card
I don't have a green
yet
card.
Because we didn't live in the U.S. We moved out of the country, so you can't apply for the green card unless you're planning to live in the U.S. However, we did a lot of research, and also I know a couple of people who have, and basically it could be anywhere from 4 months to a year.
We don't know. There's no
It's
specific date. There's no specific date on that. I have friends who said, from California, who said he got it in 10 months. And I also know people who said they waited more than a year. So it really depends. It really depends.
It depends a lot on like what your financial situation is, if you have support in the U.S., like people sponsoring you, or if your fiance has.
It's I don't know about that. I think it's all related to how the government works.
Also,
how ISIS will work.
How standard your situation is, or if it's a specialty situation. Like if it's very standard, where like you guys have been dating, you prove it, you get married, you're gonna move to the US. I think that's very standard, and it might go a little faster. If you like go and have a job visa and then try to get married, I know it can be different because some people anyway, it's the US and
but
green card.
I hope that makes sense, Chocopo. I think you're talking about the green card, and he said American girlfriend, right? Okay, so if she's American and if she's an American citizen, it will be actually very easy for you to get a green card. If she is a green card holder, then it will take a little longer. But if she's an American citizen, it will be the process will be smoother, not smoother than any other processes. But you still have to file numerous documents, which I almost did, but didn't really have the time. To answer your question, we will go back to the US in the future, and I'll let you know. I'll let everybody know. Just not right now. 오세현님, this is a very funny question.
The UK.
We live in Scotland.
No.
We live in Scotland, mate.
That's like.
Is that Australia?
That was not anything.
That was Australia.
No,
wasn't
it's not Australian.
We live in Scotland, and I like to drink scotch every night.
All right. We live in Europe instead of the UK because we're in France, and that accent
Get me my
was
scotch.
from nowhere.
What are you talking about?
Usually, we don't have a usually at this point. Okay, question was, where do you guys usually go on vacation in the summer or in summer? We don't have a usual. This summer, we actually had a pretty exciting trip.
Yeah, I wish I actually vlogged that trip. I didn't, but
yeah, that is funny. or at least
That's
part
okay.
of it. We went to Mexico this summer. We also went to Germany.
Yeah.
We visited
Yeah, we
Germany
went to Mexico this
and
summer.
we went to Mexico. Last summer we were in Korea.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
next summer I have no idea. So
we've been in Paris. We have been in Paris for. I think you and I are a little different, but we have been in Paris for blah 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 for about 10 months for me. For about a year for you.
Yeah. I came here a few months before.
Yeah.
Have you been to Germany? We have been to Germany.
Actually.
I have been to Germany a couple of times, and he has been to Germany once. Yeah.
In Paris since specific time. In case you guys are kind of curious, I know some of you guys have asked me before about this. Since or for, right? And that's something that a lot of people get confused about. Let me actually just adjust this real quick. So, we have been in Paris for the duration. Duration. Okay, think of like total amount of time. Think about the total amount.
Mm-hmm.
So for 10 months, for 1 year.
For a number, yeah,
For
rather
a number.
than.
Okay, and then we have been in Paris since. Since is specific time, right? Since 2002. I really like giving this example where, to my students I say, hey, do you remember when you go to a restaurant and you see the word since, and then it has a time, like a year, a year after it says since. That means it was established in that time, and it's been in business since 2000.
Sometimes it
whatever,
even says
right?
established.
So it's a specific time. Think of it like that. Yeah, the Wi-Fi signal is pretty terrible right now. See that red?
Yeah. Interesting. We could use my data. Maybe it's not good.
Actually, you know what? Should we try that? Sure. Although I don't know if it might not be great to change it now, but
right.
It's okay.
It's up to you. Do you
That's
want
fine.
to?
I think it's fine. How is the video, guys? Is it choppy? Is the video choppy? 중간에 좀 끊기나요, 여러분?
I remember watching your video in Paris. Yeah.
Is the video choppy? 영상이 좀 끊기나요? 그러니까 이게 지금 그 속도가 지금 빨간색인데 이게 I think it changes back and forth, but 빨간색인데 지금 여러분 양해 부탁드리겠습니다. 그 와이파이 상태가 썩 좋지가 않아가지고 특히 라이브 할 때는 이 속도랑 그 실시간 속도랑 화질이랑 굉장히 연관성이 높아가지고 제가 조금이라도 뭘 줄이면은 굉장히 느려지게 돼요. 그래서 조금 속도가 제한되는 거예요. 여러분 양해 부탁드리겠습니다. It's probably choppy. I can see that it's choppy on my phone here.
We can try the data.
These guys are all new people. I haven't seen these guys before.
Well, somebody watched our video, in Paris video.
That's probably an older one, right? Video in Paris, yeah.
It's shorter than I think. I expected you've been there more than.
Yeah.
Nope, not very long. It's really not very long. We haven't been here.
Yeah, we've been here for very little. It feels like a long time actually for me, but yeah, the screen is kind of choppy. I think maybe it disconnects every once in a while. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect fully. It's on my end. It'll be on my end. So
yeah, sometimes we have good connection.
It's on my end. 제 쪽입니다. 제 쪽에서 와이파이 상태가 썩 좋지가 않아가지고.
You can try.
Sure, let's hotspot it.
We'll
sure.
try and do hotspot and see if it works better.
I could do it on mine, but then I'm already using.
That's fine.
Do you have a password going on there?
Yes, I do.
5GE41. So bear with me here, guys. We might lose you for just a little bit. 잠깐 끊길 수 있어요, 여러분. Hold on, I'll answer that question in just a bit. Is your Wi-Fi, is it on?
It's on. Do you want me to turn it off and on again?
1 second, babe. It should show up.
Fly, Sunny. Thank you, that's quite a compliment.
Let's see.
1 second, we're trying to make the connection a little bit better.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I guess you were already signed into it.
Yep. All right, reconnection successful. We're back. I think we
Okay.
were disconnected for a little bit, and I think it's somewhat better,
Maybe
hopefully.
a little. We'll see. All right.
Hopefully it's a little better. Okay, so how is your life there? How's your life there? How is 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 your life here?
Good. The
It's good.
bread is no joke. It's so good.
Oh, wait, no, okay. Because I kind of skimmed through that comment, but now I'm reading it. That's the beautiful woman who I have ever met. For nice to meet you. Okay. Please explain what's been going on. Okay. Joy Kim, are you any planning to go back to the US? Okay. So first of all, let me just. I'm just going to correct some of your sentences, and this is just a kind of. That's a very good sentence. The most beautiful woman.
She says, "Don't worry, I'm a girl."
That's funny. The most beautiful woman I've ever met, or the most beautiful foreigner. Let me actually fix that as well. Right, the most beautiful foreigner I've ever met.
Quite a compliment. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. Okay. But thank you, Fly Sunny. So, please explain to me what's going on. We're just talking about kind of like our lives here in
how
Paris,
everyone's doing.
but we're not really on a topic here, guys. We're just going off on questions and and I don't know what's been
Having a conversation
going on in our lives, really. And there are times when I ask you guys questions, so that's really what's happening right now.
Any plans to go back to the US? Yes, we have plans to go back to the US. It might be pretty soon, or it might be kind of soon, I guess, are the two options. Where did you live in the US? I think we'll probably live near Washington, D.C. So over near Arlington. I'm from Michigan, the little Great Lakes hand-shaped state. And
I don't think people would know that even.
Well, they can look it up, I guess.
Just say it's by Canada.
Okay, it's north, kind of east, sort of. We were in California, and if we went back, I'm not sure where we would be. How long do you expect to go on this train?
Actually, probably until 9:00. Probably until 9:00. I usually stream for about 1 hour, maybe about 80 minutes if I need to keep going, but it won't be more than an hour, I don't think.
I gotta go put my kid to sleep. Okay.
Who said that?
The person,
Idong. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm very happy that you joined us. Thank you for joining us because Domuk's been here for a while. And I hope to hear from you again. Life, how is our life here? I wonder how your life is here. Um, it's pretty chill. I think the word chill, it's pretty chill, is the very good description of how our life is here. It's pretty chill. And I'm not saying, our lives in particular, not just talking about our lives, but people's lives here are very chill. They don't overwork themselves to death. They they're not strict on time,
No.
and people are just really laid back. People are laid back, you know.
Yeah, there's people focus a lot on enjoying their life and taking breaks and spending time with each other and eating food and things like that, other rather than trying to work really hard and become, make money and do those type of things. I mean, there are people like that, of course, but the culture in general is much more relaxed and slow than it is in Korea or even the US.
Yeah.
Mhm. Can you please tell us how you guys met for the first time?
That will be um that'll be a long story.
I mean, kind of. You can give the really short version.
I want people to keep asking me questions, or I want people to be able to kind of like keep writing stories
Mhm.
about themselves. That's what I want people to do instead of having us talk so much.
Mm.
Um, so I want to ask you guys a question, and I will answer these questions as well. Um, what are you guys? What are your goals? What are your English goals here? What are your English goals? And I'm guessing you guys came in, and I know some of you guys came in to look at her, but
No, I truly follow you.
여러분의 목표를 향해 잘 가고 있는지 궁금하고, 그리고 사실 제가 라이브 방송을 안 한 지 좀 오래됐어요. 그래서 이제 저 또한 규칙적이지 못했던 것이 너무너무 어떻게 보면은 좀 부끄럽고 다시 규칙적으로 나아가려고 하고 있습니다. And I keep emphasizing how consistent you have to be with languages, consistency, right? But what are your guys' goals? What are your goals? And how consistent are you guys with learning this language? This is the question. Let me write this. What are your English goals? Your English goals. And how consistent are you guys with learning this language? What are your English goals? And how consistent are you guys with learning this language? How consistent have you guys been? How consistent have you guys been? It's not very convenient to live in Paris without speaking French.
Is it convenient?
It's not. It's not. Depends on what convenience is for you. It depends.
I would say it depends. In Paris, a lot of people do speak English when it comes to, or enough English when it comes to grocery stores and restaurants and those types of places where there's a lot of tourists and things like that. So Paris has more English in that way. But on the other hand, there are some struggles with actually living here when it comes to like packages or talking to people about housing or banking or those types of places that are very much more local problems. It can be a little tricky, but we're making it work.
Yep. 미국에서 충분히 생존 가능한 영어. Ah, very cool. Joy Kim's a Korean teacher. Joy Kim, please email me. Aiden needs a Korean teacher.
I do.
So you know, I try to teach my wife Korean, but I think it's very hard because first of all, I've never taught Korean, and second of all, it's very hard to present myself as a teacher to her. Does that make sense? Even if I'm a really good Korean teacher, it's hard to present myself as a teacher to you. To you, I'm a silly husband. I'm a silly boy to you. So to me, or for you, it's like how can I understand what you're saying and receive it as, you know, as if you're telling me from a teacher student perspective. So Joy Kim, that's really, really cool. So she would like to speak English, Spanish, and Chinese fluently enough to teach Korean. But it's not easy to practice alone. That's really cool. Joy Kim, I'm very proud of what you're doing. I'm very very excited for your journey. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. I hope I wish the best for you because a lot of people, believe it or not, are trying to learn Korean. And we need more people like you.
Come back. Fly Sunny. Give some advice living in other countries. Maybe I'm going to go to New Zealand for about 2 months. Okay. I would say biggest things, don't make too big of expectations. When you go, especially if it's for like 2 months, which seems like a very like cultural experience type of reason, you know, go with the, you know, intent to live up in their culture, you know, do even things like their timing, you know. For somebody who's very punctual, France can be very frustrating because people don't think of time the same way. They are very, you know, French time is a thing, right? If somebody says, we're having a party at 12:30, come at 12:30. That means come at 1, maybe 12:50, right? If you come at 12:30, no one's going to be ready for you yet. So the time is just very different. Even with professional things, it's not quite as loose, but it can be much more loose. And it's frustrating for him because he's very punctual. But, you know, that's the culture. So if you're going, you have to be ready for those types of things and just, it is what it is here. You're experiencing the culture and, you know, maybe take advantage of it. But, you know, I guess there are certain things that you don't think about that might be even frustrating, and you just have to be like, you know, I'm in their culture. So I would say that's a really big thing. Because if you go with certain expectations or planning your lifestyle a certain way without really knowing the culture, it can be culture shock, basically.
Yeah. That was Fly Sunny, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good luck. New Zealand, I heard, what's his name is from, Andrew's from New Zealand,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
제가 지금 영어로 대답하면 오리가 뜨면서 제 문장이 사라지네요. 그거는 잘 모르겠습니다. 아마 다시 껐다가 다시 유튜브를 다시 켜보시는 게 낫지 않을까요? Jokopo just had some trouble typing in English and putting it up there. So try to speak as much English as you can. So Christine Hahn said, I try to keep up with learning English, but I feel like I am kind of caught at the same level. I really feel you. I know what you mean. So I feel like I'm caught up. I'm caught in the middle. How would you fix that sentence? I'm caught in the same.
I'm stuck. At the same level.
Stuck at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to say the word caught, would you be able to say something like that? I feel like I'm.
I feel like I'm.
You could say caught up.
Caught up in. Kind of. It has a slightly different.
Caught
meaning.
up has a different meaning.
I probably wouldn't use caught. I probably would use stuck in that situation. Yeah.
So caught or stuck at the same level. Okay. Christine is also a Japanese teacher in Sydney,
Australia, right?
I need to explain in English. Yeah, in Australia, and all the Japanese sentences. I found that I'm not enough to do that. Are you Japanese, Christine? That is really cool.
Yeah, I was born in Australia.
So yeah, well, to answer Christine's question, I think Christine, your English is actually really, really good. And the way you typed it, the speed in how you typed it, it was also very fast. So I know that you were, not using a translator or anything like that. And it seems like to me that you're really good at languages, and that is definitely an advantage. For people in Korea, maybe not even in Korea, we have a thing where people say, "Oh, he's a language dude. Like he's good with languages, or he's good at math." And I think you should kind of take it as a sign where this is an advantage for you. I feel like you know what to do in regards to how you need to improve. I would say maybe change it up a little bit. Okay, if you're stuck at a certain level, I think maybe change up your training. For example, if you let's say you're doing A for 30 minutes every single day to practice English, try doing B for maybe 15 minutes and coming back to A. Try something completely different. And I mentioned this a lot to my students. It's not just about speaking. It's actually a lot about listening and reading as well, and writing. All of it needs to be present. So if you are lacking in speaking skills, maybe you're lacking in listening skills. Maybe you're lacking in writing skills. So that's something you need to check on.
And reading is a really great source of vocabulary. Even, like fiction or whatever is fun to read. The more you read, the more vocabulary you accumulate. So Korean, but you teach Japanese in Sydney.
That's really cool.
Really impressive.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Very impressive. Can you speak any other languages, not English? I'm going to go to New York City for my career success. Oh, that'll be fun. That's why I put effort into studying for getting a score. I'm learning French and I speak some Spanish, and I'm trying to learn Korean.
We need to contact Joy Kim here.
I know.
All right.
Maybe we can
Joy Kim, please write your email on this, or you can email me, and then we'll talk.
That's fine.
No, but Korean is something that she is actually trying hard, and she's been doing it every single day, a little bit. It's all about doing a little bit every single day, and she's been staying consistent, which I'm very proud of. Yubina, that's my high school friend.
Yeah, I
know. Welcome, Yubin Lee. Love hearing from you. Unless it's somebody completely different, because Yubin can be a different. Yubin Lee is a Yubin is a popular name. Anyway, I'd like to start how you guys met. I think I'm gonna make that a video. What do you think?
I think people want to know. I think you should make a video.
Yeah.
I mean, you can give a brief explanation. We met in California.
We met in California. We met in LA. We met in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. But I think I kind of want to make it a story of. I want to make it a good video. because I have some footage. I have some footage from back then. I have some footage. It's in my hard drive, but I can use those, and I'll maybe make a.
So wait on that one.
Yeah. Please stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. 여러분 구독 안 하셨으면 지금 한 20명 정도 보고 계시는데 구독 안 하셨으면 꼭 구독해 주시고 좋아요 많이 눌러주세요. 좋아요 눌러주시면 이거 그 알고리즘이 그걸 봐서 다른 사람들한테 공유를 해주니까 여러분 공유 많이 해주시고 그 영어 영상 계속 많이 만들 거예요. 여러분들을 위해서 영어 영상 많이 만들고 라이브도 꾸준히 할 거고요. 그 여름 방학이어가지고 제가 조금 느슨해진 게 있는데 다시 유튜브로 조금 어떻게 보면은 규칙적으로 올리고 다시 유튜브에 좀 힘을 많이 쓸 겁니다. Anyway.
This is an interesting question.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the time now. 귀에 쏙쏙 들어와요 in English. Do you have similar expressions? 귀에 쏙쏙 들어와요.
What does it mean?
귀에 쏙쏙 들어와요 is like, if you were to translate that, literally, it's like, it comes into my ear very well. So it means it means I'm able to hear that. It means it's like a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Because it comes in very well. But you wouldn't say that.
Right. Interesting.
I
mean, you could say it was a good explanation.
It was a good explanation, yeah.
Or,
because sok is also kind of like an onomatopoeia. It's like, it comes in sok-sokly, kind of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have an English expression for that. There's probably something.
Maybe that's something that I would say right off the bat, I want to say if I were to do this, if I were to interpret this in a live meeting, I would say great explanation. It would be that was a great explanation. But 귀에 쏙쏙 들어와요, it sounds like even if there is an expression to make it similar, it would not give the same kind of translation.
Right. Also, I feel like, I don't know, it seems like that particular phrase covers like, I understood it well, it was well said,
well said?
Well said. Yeah. Oh, that was well said is definitely a phrase. There you go. Maybe that's the closest.
Maybe that's closer. Yeah.
But
let's say.
We have like, I would say in English we would say different things like, oh, that was very eloquent, which means like the way you said it was really nice to hear versus it was well said or
that's a little different.
It well.
Right.
So they're like different. But well said, maybe that's the closest.
Well said also is kind of going away from the catchy. Now, catchy, I would say catchy would be a good translation. Catchy also means it can be remembered well.
Right. Also, like, it's something you would want to repeat word for word.
Yeah.
Like, if I said it, you'd be like, oh, that's catchy. And then you would want to say that exact thing over and over.
But anywhere from, to answer, that was a good question though, Joey Kim. That was anywhere from very well said, very well put, very catchy, explained well. Those are kind of the translations I would use.
Do you think you still improve your English?
That's a good question, Min. I think I forget my English and Korean, and I am trying my best to not forget Korean and English words, especially. For me, it's more about trying to not forget than it is about to improve. I think there's maybe improving is definitely something I should do in regards to stating my opinions more fully and more kind of more formally in certain situations, and also kind of learning about different topics. Like I really like reading about current events, and I want to be able to kind of talk about that in a formal situation. Maybe that's something I could improve on. But for me, it's really about trying to not forget words.
I think there have been a couple times where you'll learn a new phrase or a word or something occasionally.
Mm.
But I mean, even I get that sometimes. I mean, there are so
Yeah.
many words. I sometimes will read or hear a word and I'll be like, I have never heard that before and have to figure it out.
There's also definitely, I definitely need to improve. For me, I would have to improve on learning idioms that are very traditional, and maybe a little bit cultural by location, because there's a lot of phrases that I've never heard of, and Aiden says, "Oh no, we use this all the time in the Midwest," and I'm like, "Wow, that's something that I feel like people would never say, but it's something that people do say."
Mhm.
So phrases and idioms that some regions in the U.S. say, those are some things that I definitely need to, learn, and it's really cool to learn.
Right.
It's not as universal, might be, but
I mean, there's like the South versus the Midwest versus the East Coast and West Coast in the US. Someone from the Midwest could go to the South and not know a lot of different phrases and idioms that they use because it's like a small microculture. They have their own their own way of speaking. Have you taught offline?
yes.
We Any plans on visiting Korea? I always plan on visiting Korea. We were there last spring and summer, and I loved it. I loved Korea, and I would love to go back. And we will go back at some point. We don't currently have specific plans, but definitely.
Sungwon Jo asked a really good question. Can you read that for me?
Okay, hi Gung. When I say something in English, I am usually supposed to simplify what I intend, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. When did you feel natural speaking English like Korean?
I think you know what it is. I think a lot of it is that in Korea, a lot of good speakers, um, a lot of good speakers in Korea who've grown up in Korea, have this problem of simplifying, or maybe even saying some things that almost sound not as natural, but not grammatically wrong. They're grammatically correct, but it's a little bit different because natives won't say it like that. Does that make sense? For example, I'll give you an example. Like, even have you eaten? Have you, or something like, maybe not that way. We would say, did you eat rice? In Korea, we say, 밥 먹었어? Did you eat rice? But in English, and this is maybe an exaggerated example. This is an exaggerated example, but sometimes in Korea we tend to translate things literally, and a lot of people speak English by translating what they want to say and translating it literally into English. And I think that's a problem that maybe Jo Seung-hwan is having. So try to speak less without translating it so much in your head. Now that will be hard at first. That will be hard at first because because a lot of people will be thinking in Korean. Now this will be helpful if you take some time to not speak Korean at all and just speak English. Okay. So instead of going back and forth in Korean and English, 한국말 했다가 영어 했다가 한국말 했다가 이런 식으로 이야기를 하면 되겠다 하면서 갑자기 또 바꾸면은 머릿속으로 생각을 할 수가 없는 거예요. 그러니까 한국말 했다가 영어 했다가 한국말 했다가 영어 했다 이러면은 오히려 더 헷갈려지고 머릿속으로 어떻게 보면 멘붕이 올 수가 있어요. 그렇기 때문에 차라리 할 때는 영어로만 오로지 연습을 하시고 그리고 나서 한국말로 하시고 그러니까 separate that time. For me, when I go back and forth in Korean like this, I get confused. I'm like trying to go back and forth. I'm like, this is why translation, live interpretation is really, really hard. So, Seunghan Jo, to answer your question, try to speak English and practice English by just speaking English and leave aside Korean. Okay? Pretend you're not Korean and just speak English. Okay? I hope that helps. When did I feel natural speaking English? Natural is a very difficult word because I don't really feel natural in either languages, really. So I'll just leave it at that.
But you did learn when you were young, which is a little different.
I started when I was young.
Yeah.
I started when I was young. Yeah.
Like you were very immersed at a younger age, and then you weren't anymore, but you had that initial immersion at a young age. I've been learning English for more than 5 years, but especially listening part is very difficult. Listening is hard in any language, I think, because it's hard for me to hear Korean. It's especially hard to hear French or Spanish, because certain languages blend things together. If I'm speaking slowly and I'm enunciating everything, it will be a lot easier for you to understand. When someone speaks fast, especially in English, we drop a lot of the syllables. If I say something really fast, I'm not actually saying all the consonants, and so it might sound like a completely different word. So that might be, like, maybe a trick would be listening to maybe a TV show or something where people speak very quickly, but with subtitles, and then going through and figuring out what word did they actually say. Okay, if I say I am hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. There's really no H sound in there. There's a lot of things are dropped. So when you're listening, it's not going to sound like I am hungry, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe going through and kind of like, oh, that sound is actually these three words, and learning that way might help a little bit, just because it does change. The sound changes a lot depending on if you're, saying each word or speaking naturally. Yeah.
Yongsuk, I will recommend dictation. Again, I have a video up 2 videos ago. I uploaded a video that talks about dictation. Dictation is number one. It's the number one training you can do to improve your listening. So practice writing and listening to what you heard. Writing what you heard. I don't know did I say that right?
Kind of.
So that's something I will recommend to you, Yongsuk. That is something you have to do. Is people think, oh, listening is just listening, right? But it's not just listening, because what your head is telling you might or might not be what you understood. So you have to write what you heard. Okay.
What's your MBTI?
Oh yeah, that Joycam MBTI. I know mine starts with E. I think, does yours start with E?
I don't remember. I have it somewhere.
Extroverted. I think you're all kind of extroverted.
I possibly wrote
I don't know what the other ones are. I'm like E, X, Q, F, whatever. But it all starts with either an I or an E, right? It's either you're an introvert or an extrovert. I think I'm an extrovert. So that's why I think I enjoy like doing live and communicating with you guys, because I'm extroverted. And Americans are not really interested in MBTI like Koreans. They're not, right?
They're not really. There was a little phase, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, where people were kind of like interested in it, but it wasn't like, we don't really have the questions in the US. Like in Korea, it used to be blood type, right? Like, what's your blood type,
Yeah.
right? And we don't really have anything like that in the US.
Some people do. Shoot, what's the word?
Your star, yeah. Okay,
The,
what's your sign, right?
What's your
Are you
star? What's the word? Zodiac
Zodiac
sign.
Cancer, a Leo. Okay, there is that a little bit, but it's not like everybody.
Some
it's sort
people-
of, yeah.
Do you have similar hobbies to share together? Working out. Do you love working out?
So much. I mean,
hobbies to share together. Actually, I
Eating.
don't know if we have hobbies
We like
that
eating.
we share together. Eating is a hobby.
Eating is a hobby.
You
Eating
guys can
good
it
food.
can be arguable, but you know.
We like watching movies and talking about the film and the actors and the
Watching
like-
movies definitely.
or TV shows and like not just watching them but talking about them. Okay, I know I have it somewhere, but I don't know if I will be able to find it.
That's really cool. Sir said SUR, said I was ENFP, so you're extroverted, but through hard and valuable time to get along with my wife, I became ISFP. Just letting you know. Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
That's very
Do you like being ISFP? So that just means to me that sounds like you were extroverted at first, but now you're introvert. I feel like I'm kind of actually like that a little bit because I spend so much time with you, and especially now I'm spending so much time indoors.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. I had it at one point.
Yes, writing, that's a good question, Mina. Writing and speaking and reading, they all go hand in hand. They all go hand in hand. Okay, so writing, well, that's why I said write as much as you can, guys. Write them as much as you can. This will improve your speaking. That's so funny. Yeah, I work out about 5 days a week. About 4 to 5 days a week. Should I show them my guns?
Go for it. It makes you feel good.
It doesn't look that good.
Yeah, the lighting's not that good, is it?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Just.
But anyway, so thanks for joining in, guys. We will do this more often. 좀 더 자주 할게요. 이 라이브 영상 같은 게 사실 여러분들한테 도움이 많이 될런지는 모르겠어요. 그러니까 여러분들이 얼마나 활동적으로 정말 활성하게 이 여기 라이브 채팅에다가 그 댓글을 적는지는 모르겠지만 여러분들 몇 명은 그렇게 하고 계셔서 자주 오시고 매주 오시면 좋을 것 같아요, 정말. 근데 보고 계시면서 뭐 그냥 이렇게 그냥 재미로 보는 것도 괜찮지만 꼭 이렇게 활성하게 이렇게 질문을 답하고 그리고 뭔가 많이 쓰려고 노력을 하면 큰 도움이 될 거라고 저는 생각을 합니다. 그래서 그렇게 해주시면 좋을 것 같고요. I forgot what I was about to say. 좀 늦어졌으니까 오늘 여기까지 하고요. We'll call it a night here. 다음 시간에 아마 일주일에 한 번씩은 꼭 할 것 같아요. 아니면은 주중에 한 번 더 하고 제가 주제를 갖고 와서 수업을 하는 식으로도 할 예정이고 오늘 많은 참석을 해주셔서 너무너무 감사드리고요. 제가 라이브를 사실 영상을 굉장히 많이 만들었어요. 예전에도. 지금 보니까 새로 오신 분들이 많은 것 같은데 라이브 자주 하면 꼭 많이들 참석 바랄게요.
Other stuff to do, unfortunately.
만약에 궁금하시거나 약간 좀 지금 여기는 이거 공개적으로 이렇게 라이브 채팅하는 거니까 만약에 프라이빗하게 비공개적으로 어떠한 이메일을 뭐 아니면 저한테 이야기하고 싶은 그러한 이야기가 있거나 그러면은 이메일 주세요. 이메일은 제 프로필 링크 클릭하시면 이메일 나오거든요. 그래서 거기에 이메일 적어주시면 좋을 것 같고 I hope to see you guys all again. I really had great time talking with you guys, chatting with you guys, especially people that stayed throughout the entire time. I know Joy Kim's been here the entire time, and so was Youngsuk and Fly Sunny and Min. So thanks for joining in, guys. I'll see you guys again, maybe sometime during the week. have a great night. 여러분 좋은 밤 되시고요. 광복절 해피 광복절입니다, 여러분.
Bye.